Yeah. Hit the button.
Welcome to the Two-Sided Podcast with my boy Pete and John L. Peacock. Here we go.
Jesus Christ, man. We better get inside. The thunders are coming. What, dude, you're doing new intros all the time, and I just don't understand what you're doing. Are you scared, John? What are you doing? Let's see your face. Where you at?
I ain't scared.
Where you at, John?
I'm right here, son.
Here we go.
Been here all along.
Yeah. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Yes, I am. All right, John.
My boy Pete. I've always asked you like in one word or three words, but I felt you've been a little constricted. So tonight I'm going to ask you, how you feeling in 7 words?
Shit, piss, balls, fuck, cunt, motherfucker, tits.
Fantastic.
You keep tossing me underhand pitches, John. I'm swinging for the fences. It may not be correct all the time. He's gonna correct me on but I counted. There were 7. Yeah. All right. And I knew it ended with tits. I get lost in the middle, like my ABCs. It's like, oh. But I know it ends with and tits.
And the rest. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Here on Gilligan's. Yeah, we know all the finishing
right.
moves.
Yeah, you just can't say that on TV.
Right. So help me God, John. One of these days, laws will change, and I will be swearing a blue storm on TV, even if it's just live in an interview. I'm going to go to the Bible Belt and be in a tornado. Next thing, interviewing. I seen it. It was horrible. They were coming down. Shit, piss balls, pussy cut, motherfucker, tits. You're welcome. That's what it sounds like in the eye of a hurricane.
That's right.
I was actually in the Gulf doing that interview. In the tornado, the Bible Belt, that's the eye of a tornado. Totally different. It's backwards. It starts with tits and it ends with
right.
The rest is still a jumble because it's swirling around all the crazy.
It's going to be great because we're going to make it big and we'll be on USA Today and they'll ask you, my boy Pete, how you doing? With the new book, the movie deal, and that great podcast that you tour all around the world. How are you feeling?
Right. I was like, well, the words of one of my heroes, Matt Lauer, close the door. Let's talk about it.
And of course, that'll be all.
Stupid. God damn it, John. This is going to be a rough one. I got shit to do, John. Can we open this show? Because I think we're boring to people. Actually,
let's open the show.
By that, I mean, let's open the show. Cheers, folks. If you're listening in, thanks for tuning in. We are the Two-Sided Pod, coming to you live on YouTube. Cheers.
Cheers. And, well, howdy.
Have some good ones. You did a good intro for the YouTube last time, and then you went into this. It was great. And then you did a weird. I'm Thunder with After Effects and like one small word. Hi, I'm John. I would be welcome. And now you bring didgeridoo to the party, John. John, that's 2 strikes, motherfucker. You're getting in deep.
I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm my boy Pete here in Southern California.
And you're listening to Two-Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the 2 sides of life, the fun and the serious.
Yes, John, the right and the wrong, brother, the me and the you. The sometimes a no listen, the sometimes a need to a listen. That can go for both of us.
Right. That could definitely go for both of us.
I went to confession, so I learned some things this week.
They fucking had Mike Patton on 60 Minutes, right? For Faith No More. Mike Patton was the lead singer of Faith No More. And they were talking about Epic. You want it all. And they were like, this song has been on the fucking top, somewhere in the top 10 of the Billboard charts for going on 6 years straight. How do you feel about that? And he was like, I feel great about it. He was like, can you tell me what it is? And he was like, what do you mean? In the top. You're like, what is it? All the time you keep asking. He was like, oh, rape. And there was like a fucking 3-minute pause. Nobody said a word. And they just looked at each other. Mike Patton was smiling. And 60 Minutes had, fuck, we gotta keep going. I don't want to interview this dude no more.
You want it all, but you can't have it. That's awful. That's like when you think about now, it's like, God damn it, I love that song. I play it all the time. Same like, hey man, nice shot. It's one of this about the senator who shot himself live on TV. Like, come on, man. God damn it. I gotta ruin everything.
Well, just like that 60-minute clip, we should move on into our first lightning round.
Lightning round. Let's get down. Lightning round. Let's get down. Don't want to scare the hellhounds. Hellhounds. Lightning round. Guess it's gonna be quiet tonight. Woo.
Well, anybody who's anybody knows that our first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
Ready. Let us proceed with vigor.
Beach, plains, forest, or mountain?
Oh, plains. Plains, right. As in high mountain plain. Right. I thought you meant as in trains and automobiles. So it's like beach, forest, aeroplanes, or
Mountains.
mountains. I would be mountain forest mountains. Higher up, like Big Bear. Big Bear? Big Bear.
Big Bear?
Like
Big Bear.
Big Bear? Big Bear. Badger? Badger. Yep. Something up there. Something coastal, not coastal, but something that's like elevation wise, it's higher than coastal, but you still have all the evergreens and shit, but you don't have to like be Billy Goating it around. And it's a lot easier to get drunk. Just letting you know. You go up, that's a whole thing. You go monthly, you drive up to Big Bear, donate a pint of blood, you hit the bar, and you're hammered in one beer. It's fantastic. Then you go mountain climbing. It's great. Big Bear.
On the other end of the spectrum, desert, scrublands, Everglades, or swamp?
Desert. Yeah, I'm so used to desert. Everglades, swamp, scary and ooh and gross. Like once you get fucking wet, now the hellhounds come. Now they come.
Right.
Yeah, no. In scrublands, I have very, very tender ankles, so I scrape easily. So I can't have scrub brush.
Based solely on its natural environment, where is the best place on Earth? Solely on the natural environment, where's the best place on Earth?
Jeez. See, you want something? tropical. You want something tropical that's nice all year round. You don't want huge shifts, so you need something set like a coastal or islandy somewhere. If you're going South America, it's almost too swampy, like in some places. Like it's like it all depends, or like in Asia. Like you could say, I would say almost like the US or British Virgin Islands, like St. Barts, St. Kitts. But see, but then you have
St. John. Yeah.
Right. Then you have all the weather and stuff up there. But it's like as far as climate, environment, man, they grow shit weed. So I don't know.
Well, what about Hawaii? If you want that, but without the hurricanes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of American tourists there, or Americans. And one of the best things is to like get away from like the real true organized. It's like I prefer religion, but I don't like organized religion. Like, you guys all fuck it up when you get together. I believe in a thing, but when you want to talk about it, it makes me feel gross. Nah. I'll pay my own taxes, pay my own road. Thank you very much. I have an island then too.
So, final answer?
I would say final answer. I would say yeah. See, but then you're making me clarify. But environmentally, but what? Like to self-sustain, like an ecosystem, like you can grow everything all the time and sustain because.
Oh no, not necessarily. No, it's not. It's not like you're completely removed from society. You have to make for your own. It's the perfect environment for that. It is where like all year you're happy with the weather, no matter what. This is your place. Where's the best place on earth? Purely on that.
Oh, for me. Yeah, no, for me, I would say like St. John's, like the Virgin Islands, just any of the Virgin Islands, U.S., British, anything out there, St. Barts, St. Kitts, St. John, St. Thomas, like just yeah, any of them.
Right on.
They're so great. They're so great.
Final question: which is your favorite of North America's Great Lakes?
I'm gonna go with Michigan, baby. Lake Michigan.
That very much is the correct answer.
Yeah, Dirty Men in the house. What up? We got lakes and shit up here too. Fuck you, Superior. You think you know me?
We got a couple of messages, and I want to hit those before we jump into our first segment. But before we do, hey, my boy Pete, look at the title of our show. What is our first segment?
Muskegon.
There you go. All right. I thought you might have fallen prey to the old Muskegon.
Oh no, old Muskegon. No, that's when I was going out for a date, and I put my grandpa's musk on, but then I ran too fast through the shower. I did it backwards, and my musk is gone. My musk is gone. I sweated it off. I was in the sprinkler. I got nothing.
The Muskegon.
Right.
Let's grab these messages and jump right in.
It's it. What is it? It's it. What is it?
And the other one was War Pigs, right? Those are War Pigs.
Yeah. They had two songs I liked.
They had two songs I liked.
Anyway, go ahead.
Hello, the real MFA in the house. How you doing? Just in time for the first lightning round. Hello to the Foxes, Mona Lisa, Harry Palms, everyone in the audience. How you doing, y'all? How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, girl?
I love
logging on and seeing your
fucking
trophies.
Trophies.
It's nice to watch you on YouTube. I see your trophies.
PlayStation. I was like,
oh,
she's killing shit
out there. I'm like, I gotta look that one
Put her
up.
on the list, John.
Put her on the list,
Put her on
John.
the list.
Come on, man. You know that we were going to end up in the fucking St. John's, Arizona, up there in Apache County.
See?
Stuffing it like the fucking, they did in the 1800s, Little House on the Prairie.
Preach.
That was Apache County.
No, we're not.
Right. Sign me up for Pine Top, Sholo.
Their fucking rendition of War Pigs is epic. See what I just did there? The other version of War Pigs that I absolutely love, Cake.
Yes. Dude, Cake I love Cake. That whole Fashion Nugget was such a great album. Like the whole album was so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, I Will Survive. Oh man.
Yeah.
Fantastic version of that. Well, our first segment of the episode is looking at the overlooked. We're going to look at a smallish town, Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh yeah. Muskegon is a very well. There's a lot of those like middle country towns in middle America that are kind of just like, oh, you think of the big ones because you're like, oh, Detroit. Like, okay, what else? Like Muskegon. Like, yeah, it's not a place. You drive through it and don't look back, or you go there to get. Never mind. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot if I start making comments already. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you finish, John.
We all know that Kalamazoo is a better city than Muskegon just because MFA hails from Kalamazoo, and also Kalamazoo is a fantastic name. But I wanted to look at Muskegon because there's some interesting things that caught my eye recently. So I'm going to do a little bit of history and a little bit of what it's kind of known for these days.
Okay. All right, folks. Hold on to your butts because this is a serious segment. And if John's talking about what's happening in a middle America town that no one talks about and overthinks, it's not going to be good. So everyone, I think it's time that we do a shot, smoke a bowl, like literally. It's time to gird your loins, ladies and gentlemen. Batten down the hatches.
Well, let me say it might get a little bloody towards the end, but we got our own original Michigangster right here.
My girl.
I like their rendition of Easy from the Commodores, their redo of that song. That's why I'm easy. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Faith No More, Mike Patton, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, like MFA, I'm gonna make you a mixtape. Do you have a cassette player? I'm gonna make you a mixtape. I'm gonna beat him real good. Finish up with. Okay, here you go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Everyone, cheers. Thanks for listening. We are the Two-Sided. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe, hit that like, tell your friends, tell your bro officer. We'll be here every week.
Muskegon, Michigan, which wraps around the Muskegon Lake, an offshoot lake of the Great Lake Michigan, is known for fishing, sailing regattas, pleasure boating, and as a commercial and cruise ship port. It is a popular vacation destination because of the expansive freshwater beaches, historic architecture, and public art collection. It is the most populous city along the western shore of Michigan.
I did not know that they had so many water activities. Pleasure boat cruises. I enjoy boats. I enjoy pleasure. I enjoy cruises, John. 3 of my favorite things in one little package. Sign me up. Let's get our asses down to Muskegon.
I like pleasure on boats.
Giddy up. My man, say no more. Say no more. Nudge.
So human occupation of the Muskegon area goes back to the 7,000 or 8,000 years to the nomadic Paleo-Indian hunters who occupied the area following the retreat of the Wisconsin glaciers. They were superseded by several stages of woodland Indian development, the most notable of whom were the Hopewellian type of tradition, which occupied that area perhaps 2,000 years ago. It was inhabited by various bands of the Ottawa, also known as, and the Potawatomi Indian tribes. But the 1830 Muskegon was solely an Ottawa village. Perhaps best remembered of the area's native inhabitants was Ottawa chief Pendelloan. A leading participant in the French-inspired annihilation of the Fox Indians of Illinois of the 1730s, Pendelloan and his people lived on the Muskegon vicinity during 1730s and 1740s until the French forced them to move their settlement to Traverse Bay in 1742. So this is when the French come in.
Okay. So, but you already had seen part of the French Indian War. So you skipped ahead, right?
Right. So that's when the right. Yeah. So I went thousands of years back, and then I jumped right up into the 1700s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name. Yeah, and for those who know about our Michigan episode some months ago, I talk about the French fur traders coming in and having a relatively friendly relationship with the Native Americans until the British come in, and that's when things started getting crazy. So this is following the same tradition. They were pretty cool with each other. They helped each other out. They helped get rid of other natives, but they were then forced out by the fur traders. But Muskegon itself is derived from the name, the Ottawa tribe term Muskegon, meaning marshy river or swamp. And that's the river itself that leads into, that is, like I said, the offshoot of Lake Michigan.
Okay, so that's it's because it's a swampy, kind of fucked up river. No offense.
I assume. I mean, I know it because of the name. I did not visit there specifically, so I don't know if the river might be great now. They might have cleaned it up, but that's the original name.
Okay.
Though the earliest Euro-American resident was Edward Fitzgerald, a fur trader and trapper who came to the Muskegon area in 1748 and who died there, reportedly being buried in the vicinity of White Lake. Between the 1790s and 1800s, the French-Canadian trader named Joseph Laframboise established a fur trading post at the mouth of Duck Lake. Between 1810 and 1820, many French-Canadian traders were there. Like I said, that was a huge thing. And then come the British.
Everything was fine. We were having a great time at the mouth of Duck Lake. I set up a fur trading post. We were all having very good times. But then the British came, fucked it all up.
The commencement of the lumber industry in 1837 by the British, or by the Americans at this point, inaugurated what some regarded as the most romantic era in the history of the region. This was a huge thing. The shift from the lumber era of Muskegon to the industrial era, which I'll talk about very briefly in a little bit, it was the perfect time, and then things went downhill from there with the industrial era.
But you're saying from the fur trading up then in 1837, when we had the lumber, that was the most romantic period up until that point. Like, oh my God, this is so great. Lumber is great. Lumber is the best. We're having the best time. You said it's the most romantic period. And then you said...
I skipped over the point where the British forced everybody out and made their settlements, and then it became American and all that other stuff. I glossed over that area.
Right. You did. We're going to gloss over that because that was in the past. We're looking at chronological. You said 1837, the most romantic time in the history would be, you said, but soon after industrialization, which I will talk about, things went downhill fast. Anyway, so are we going to stick with the romantic era of 1837 and all the fucking timber that's been coming down, John? Can we stick with that, and we'll all catch up with you when shit starts falling apart in the industrial era?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
So the engines are out, the Euro-Americans are in, We're having a great time, prosperous, lots of fun. There's the lake, there's trade, there's a big port, there's so many things happening. It becomes very affluent, one of the more affluent cities in all of Michigan, and it's doing wonderful, starting from 1837 into the early 1900s.
And then, once the 1900s came, folks, chronologically, as John's proofreader, I would say after this happened.
What do you mean after? I was pushed out by the British, and now you can't even tell a story in the right order. That is it. I'm going to get a baguette and a fucking capriola. Bullshit.
This is a little bit out of order. I normally have more of a chronological, but I like the popcorn effect, because now I'm going to talk about a couple of musicians who come from Muskegon.
100% great, John. But I'm going to let you know, as a storyteller, you are not a Quentin Tarantino, buddy.
Then in 2048, I saw it in a dream, but back in 1742, they didn't even know about my dream. So therefore, fur trading was on. However, the romantic lumber age was soon upon us. They knew about my dream. They only stayed a little while until the British came and gave us industrialization. Do you guys like music? I do too. How about mushrooms? Apparently, I ate a lot of mushrooms while writing this goddamn script. Folks, this script has been brought to you by mushrooms. Change your world, change your perspective. Buy the ticket, take the goddamn ride. Mushrooms.
Yeah, I told you that in confidence. We'll edit this out. Anyway.
3, 2, 1.
Musicians Borns and Iggy Pop both hail from Muskegon.
Iggy Pop and the chick who wore the swan? The chick who wore the swan?
No, that's Bjork.
Borns?
This is Borns.
Oh, her cousin. Borns.
Yeah.
Bjork's cousin,
Yeah.
Bjorns.
Yeah.
My Bjorn.
Borns didn't have the swan dress.
No, but they were all actually great-great-grand nephews of the Swedish chef.
Borny, Bjorka, everybody have a good time at the family reunion. Bernie. Iggy Pop's here too. Iggy Poppy!
Yay! Yay!
Okay.
Also, Buster Keaton, who was not born in Muskegon, but has a direct connection to it, a very personal connection. So Buster Keaton, who started out in vaudeville and became known as one of the greatest American silent film stars, also greatest film clowns. He and his family were in the vaudeville act known as the Keatons. And Muskegon was one of the stops on the vaudeville circuit. It was originally known as Lake Michigan Park. It's now Pier Market Park, but that's where the vaudeville theater was.
Okay. But there was a lot of guys kicking hats on the way there trying to get there. Like, ooh. Which way? No, that way.
So the Keatons performed there in 1902 and 1905. At the later performance, the 1905, the dad, Joe Keaton, bought some property on the lakeshore there because he loved the feel of Muskegon. And Buster considered Muskegon his hometown, even though he wasn't born there. And he didn't spend full time there for any time. He only spent summers there. It was their summer home. But he spent 10 summers there, and they were the significant summers. It was from age 11 to age 21.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit goes down that time. A lot of shit goes down that time.
Right. Eat fish, swim, play baseball, which he loved his entire life. His baseball fanaticism really grew with his time there in Muskegon, and he was simply able to be a kid during those summers. Because he was involved in vaudeville, he's actually known as one of the earlier American child puts child stars, because he started his career at 5 years old. He was in the Keaton's act at 5.
Yeah, but that's let's see, he was 11 in 1905, so he was like 1889, 1888. He started acting. But John, as we all know, when you're born before 1900, you had to get a job before you were 4, or run away, or jump on a steamer. Like there's no lollygagging. There's no, like, it's pull your own weight, get to the coal mine. I know you had a hard time. Here's your napping, your bit bop. Go to sleep. Don't wake your brothers and sisters. There's 12 of them.
Yeah.
They're all going to die before morning.
So having the pressure of being this child star of this famous act, they were quite famous, so they were looked at. And at 5, he was the demands on him were so big. So he looked back at his summers in Muskegon as the most innocent time of his life, where he could be a kid. And he started in vaudeville at the age of 5, and his 10 summers there were without work, without the harsh expectations. And during those summers, he played a lot of pranks. He was a major prankster on friends, with friends, just to get a laugh from the general people. He would create simple mechanical devices to fool people, like this fish on a line contraption where people thought he was getting a fish, and then everyone would laugh at that person. Simple things of the early 1900s.
Thanks for working that all out, John. And anyone who likes what John's saying, you can hit that subscribe button, email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com, and John will actually email you the blueprints he worked out for the fish on the line gag he so brilliantly just described. Folks, two-sided pod. John's a fish on the line.
He also created, for a friend who had an outhouse, collapsible walls, so that any tourists coming by and trying to use the outhouse, the walls would literally collapse on them.
Okay. But that was the first time. You do so much foreshadowing, and you make such a big point to foreshadow, and then you go into this weird shit of you just like to talk about specifics of things, like no one cares about a fucking fish, John. You said, for the first 5 summers, it was really great. Really great. He did pranks. Like, John, fucking what happened after 5 years, man? What happened to Buster? John, I can see it now. You want me to tell you? I can tell you right now, John. He's in his summer, taking summers at his lake house, and he feels like a child. Everything's great. He's doing pranks, ha 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 ha, laughing. Lake time, fun time, pleasure boat cruises. I've heard of those. We'll go. But then, right, everything turns. Now there's this special counselor who's teaching dance. And he's like, I don't know if I feel special enough. No, you got to come because my partner's gone. He's like, but I'm just Buster Keaton. And his dad sees him and he's like, Buster, get in the corner. And they're like, nobody puts Buster in the corner. And at the end, they do the lift. But it's a long, hard year, John. It's a bad summer for Buster and the baby. Buster and the ghost. Buster and Bodie. Buster and Bodie.
These pranks that had a lot of mechanical trappings to them, and along with the shift from the lumber to industrial era that Buster's summers there was really witness to, including the opening of the paper mill, the famous Muskegon paper mill that is still around, and many other mills which have since closed down, causing a major depression. That's later, but
right, which made him, because we jumped forward there, you gave us a further thing, but which inspired him when the paper mills opened, inspired him to do the log on a line. And if you order now, if you hit that subscribe and like, John will show you how to reinforce that line to do flying log on a line. Blueprints by John L. Peacock. We're back on the pranks.
These can be directly traced to a lot of some of his best gags through the silent films that he created. And so they say that his time in Muskegon was instrumental to really forming what his act was on the silver screen that made him so great.
Right. After every one of his big movies, he did the big lift, and it was amazing.
That's right.
I had the buster time of my life, and I Keaton all of it to you. Yes, I swear. Go ahead, John.
So jumping to Muskegon today, in a 2019 survey of the worst cities in the U.S., 6 Michigan cities made the top of list of 50, with Muskegon Heights ranking number 19.
All right. Not to be not to be outdone. The 2 Southern California cities and my hometown of Stockton, California, Northern California, was the 9th most dangerous place to be a pedestrian in the United States. Wow. I was like, yeah, woo! Anyway, yeah. Why do they say it's a shit place? Why do they say it's not good to live in 2019?
Well, with a population of about 11,000, the poverty rate is 39.3% in the top 10 percentile of the U.S. The violent crimes per 100,000 people is 1,808, also top 10%. The median home value is 42,900. Bottom 10%.
Hold on, John. John, like you got to clarify everything you say. Like, the first number you gave out, 2019, population of around 11,000.
Yeah.
Poverty rate of 39%.
Yeah.
Murders per 100,000, 1,808.
Yeah.
So you're saying based on 100,000, but this is a town of 11,000, John.
So it's the statistic. It's per 100,000. And so they look at, so it wouldn't have been that. It would have been like 1,080-ish.
Okay, it's not multiplied. It's not like we're doing math like, oh no, well, you didn't carry the 1. Oh,
it's the percentiles
instead of added. Because that shit, like if you're saying out of 100,000, and this is like, oh, so therefore because it's only 10% basically of 100,000.
Yeah.
We're gonna then increase the number of murders. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm never a math guy. I'm more of a idea man. I'm a song and dance guy. I like comedy with fish on lines. I like to do pranks with logs on sticks, but we can.
And then the home value being about 43,000, which is in the bottom 10% of the U.S. So the value is very low. The crime is in the top 10%, violent crime, and the poverty rate's pretty high, right? Almost 40%.
See, that's the problem. It's like once you hit this little spiral. So what happens to the port now? Because you said it had all these things. It was industrial. It had cruise ships. It had ferry things. It had all of this brings commerce and brings jobs. If you have 11,000 people, should you have, if it is that much of a hot spot and it's freshwater beaches, shouldn't there be more people coming in, more industry, and therefore wanting to buy houses and therefore putting prices up? I'm not understanding what happened, John.
So the industrial age brought in a lot of these mills, these paper mills, steel mills, and others because of the port. The port became obsolete because the industries became obsolete, the factories closed, and it became a big gap in the economy of the town.
Oh, so they have empty mills on the river, on the lake, and they have like a kind of deserted port.
Yeah, the industrial port is not used anymore. It's all the recreational. That's why the ad that I showed early, it's known for boat cruises and all these fun things. It's basically because it's not known for the industry that it was before. All that is collapsed. So all that's left is summertime fun, touristy stuff.
Yeah, which is
and that's not super sustaining.
No, it's not. I mean, it's seasonal, it's whatever. Yeah. All right, John, we got to think about this.
Which brings into the violent crime, because the poverty line is so high, and when the rich tourists come, There's the desperation. There's the acts of crime for that because of that desperation.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a
John,
little.
so
It's
what I'm thinking, it's everything. I'm thinking. Here's what we do. We go up. We can buy the mills cheap, right? Because it's probably, you said property values are low. We can buy things on the river cheap. We restore them. We do the original. Like, this is what old timey was back in 1905. I'm Buster Keaton's dad, Joe Keaton. Get that fish over here, boy. We just had a paper mill put in. Walk them through. It's like the little Renaissance Fair. We'll have all the school tours. Education will come up. We'll work with the state government. We'll get funded. Once we get the funding we need, and we have a board and we have all the funds, then we're gonna rob that motherfucker blind, John, and we're gonna leave to Mexico. But still, towns are going to be good. We set them up for success, so everyone wins.
And that seems to be the historical problem of Muskegon, because everyone who came in after the initial settlers saw it as a something to use, as opposed to something to be a part of. And they used it until they didn't need it anymore, and they abandoned it over and over and over again. Yep.
Later, bitches. Yeah.
And those who stayed behind suffer.
I think, John, what you just did was a callback. No, you inspired me for a callback, because what you said is they Swayze that bitch. I'm Ghost. I'm out, baby. Come on, John. Buster and Bodie. Come on. The whole story. God damn it, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good tonight.
So this area has just 5.8% of adults who have bachelor degrees or higher. One of the smallest bachelor degree attainment rates in any of the U.S. cities. And the income in the area is similarly low. The typical household in any city earns just $25,000 a year, less than half the median across the U.S. as a whole,
right,
having 57,000 plus.
It's all like service, or it's all like retail, or it's things like that, because there's very few offices, there's very few corporations, and if you do, you're going to get a temp job or a median entry level where, yeah, you can work your way up and do things, but if there's nothing there, you can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like,
yep,
why doesn't the government, like, someone needs to invest in communities like that and like do trades? Like, I don't know. John, is this where we should build a compound for my cult? Because we could give people purpose, haircuts, better ways of life. John, we got to check out and see what that river's like if it's all swampy. It's all Muskegon-y.
So to wrap up those stats, Muskegon's obviously struggles with crime. There were over 6,000 property crimes reported in the city for every 100,000. So it's that same stat report that I know you see is like, oh, that's not right, but it's about stats. But the first one was 1,000. This is 6,000. So a lot.
But you just said, you generalized, you said property crimes, John, and let me tell you from just the perspective of the legal system, what a property crime is. It could be someone took my cell phone from my bag, someone opened my car door and took something, someone came into my house, someone
stood on my lawn.
Something I owned was violated in some way, shape, or form, and we chalk that up to. And so, yes, of course it's going to be more, because you have all the people like, man, I was just borrowing your car. I was going to bring it back.
Right. They were nonviolent crimes. Property crimes are generally known as nonviolent crimes. So the 6,000, the most in any city in Michigan, and the city's violent crimes of 1,808 per 100,000 is higher than over 90% of all U.S. cities.
No, but John, and I don't want to go out on a limb, but no, because I'm going to defend Muskegon here. I'm going to go ahead and defend. I'm going to say I don't want to victim blame, but I know 8 of those people who were victim of violent crimes are like, yeah, you were knocked over when you tried to grab your purse back. Your fault. I'm just saying. let's call it an even 1,800 and just be done with it, okay? Just give me those 1,800. I'm writing that down. I'll take 6,000 properties. I'll take 1,800 violent, quote unquote, crimes. John, what else you got for me? I feel like we're playing double jeopardy. Here is 1,800 violent crimes. I'm sorry. Only 100 were violent. The others were just whiny bitches.
So the other cities were considered worse. Like right. I said 6 of them. The only 3 that were worse than Muskegon in Michigan were Detroit. So Muskegon's number 19. Detroit's number 18. Literally 1 difference.
Right.
Flint, number 11. And Highland Park, which is a suburb of Detroit, at number 5.
Right, but see, and that's the same thing as saying like, oh, here's like in New York versus like, oh, anyone who doesn't live in Michigan, like if you think of Detroit, I'm like, yeah, Highland Park, yeah, it's right there. It's the same. Yeah, it's a different city, it's a different borough, but New York, it's like, oh,
it's right there.
It's New York. It's like, yeah, well, what basketball court were you shot on? Motherfucker, I was shot in New York.
Right. Was it the Bronx or was it Brooklyn?
But why were you playing basketball? You don't have good knees. Like, John! Just give me a Band-Aid and a shot. Let's get through this night.
So all those stats wrap up to the violent crime is 38.7%, where the average U.S. city is 22.7%. And the property crime is 65.5%, where the average is 35.4%. So that's a huge difference, especially the property crime.
So what I'm seeing, John, I don't believe in problems. I believe in opportunities, right? So yeah, there's no business there. There's no people being employed, but there's a lot of property. So why don't we do a home security? Think of what the security companies did for the purge, but we do it on a very economic level. We do things out of storage containers on retracting wheels. Like we're very, and then there's a lot of rebar, John, but I think it's a lot of good, hard, honest work that your property will be safe and everyone's employed and come on, man. It's the first step along the way to Mad Max. Wheel them out. It's almost dusk. And bars come out and all like, whoa, we thought you guys were doing like a community service. We are. It's Mad Max beyond Muskegon. We gave everyone rebar fences and 2 Aussie dogs to bark at any intruders. If you get to level 60, get a sawed-off shotgun. Thanks, Mad Max.
2 lakes enter, 1 lake leaves.
Exactly. Michigan. Fuck you, Superior.
Thanks. What is it? Water Winter Wonderland State. Thank you, the Water Winter Wonderland State.
Yeah. Whatever would we do without your watery winterland wondrous wandering wonderment that weaves such a web of revealing dreams and deceiving. Sorry, I don't know. I couldn't think of it anymore.
So crime there is as such that a website was started to give anonymous tips of criminal activity only in the city of Muskegon. www.silentobservermuskegon.com. Again, silentobservermuskegon.com. So if you have any tips, throw them there.
But don't go there and just poke around. If you have tips, go there.
Right. We're going to finish with a couple of famous or reported on murders that have happened in the city throughout the past like 10, 20 years. So
That's great. Let's because we're off to it. It is getting darker. You did warn us. It is not good, but let's let's not dwell too much on what kind of tricks they played on each other. He lured him into the basement with a fish on a string. Like, no, John, we don't need to know how, when, why. Don't be making a murderer. Don't do a documentary. I don't know if I can handle it.
No, this is more gloss over, but it's interesting. Like this one, this is a simple one. You're okay. Yeah, so this is simple.
It's very
right?
simple. We all slow down here, John. We all slow down here.
Yeah. May 19th, 2019, Jamie Thomas Flowers, age 50, told her husband, Vashon Flowers, age 46, that their relationship was over. The daughter recalls that the previous day, the two had been constantly fighting, and that had led to Vashon choking Jamie and slashing her car tires. That morning, the daughter heard the door being kicked in and her mother saying, "Don't do this," and then gunshots, and then nothing else. So she called the police, found her mother in the laundry room with 4 gunshot wounds in the torso, and Vashon had been previously convicted of 4 different felony charges: carrying a concealed weapon, possession with intent to deliver controlled substances, assault with a dangerous weapon, and felon in possession of a firearm. So he was convicted with a first-degree murder of Jamie in January of 2020, and that's when it came out that their final argument that sent her over the edge to ask for a divorce and for him to retaliate with murder was that they were both smokers and both quit cigarettes together, but he got drunk and wanted to smoke.
John, if you keep up this line of questioning, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to come to your house. Wait, too soon? Too soon. God damn it, John. Here's an easy one. 4 shots to the torso in the laundry room. This is like a bum, bum, bum. I feel like I'm in court TV. No, it's an easy. I'm not going to go on details. I'm just like, the daughter called after the door kicked in. All was quiet. 4 shots to the torso ended that life. It was a dark and stormy night. John, smokes are the devil. No one should smoke. If you start smoking again, I'm going to write a very strongly worded letter to a hitman in a nearby borough.
This next one's a little darker.
But why are you doing that? How about maybe are you able to edit yourself of what you've written? Because that one's pretty fucking dark, and that's an easy one, John. I'm not trying to hear this murder shit.
Okay.
I gotta be honest. I'm not trying to hear this murder shit.
Okay. Yeah, I got a whole thing, but you want me to just summarize and leave out? There's not really gory details. Listen, I don't go deep into any of it.
John, you're not hearing. If you want to try it, by all means, try it. The first one you said, this is an easy one, no big deal. And the shit you said was like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to think about this. And if these ones are, in your opinion, worse than the first one, I don't want to hear them. If you want to say them, by all means, I'll stop being a bitch, but don't expect me to participate or really listen. By all means, you did the leg research. You like Rob Zombie movies. You fucking pierced your septum by yourself when you were 4 years old. Whatever you need to do to feel alive, John, we're all here for you. It's your goddamn rodeo. I'm just a fucking clown in the arena.
Okay, well, this is one of the more famous ones. 1998, late November, Thanksgiving, around midnight, police come, discover a bit of bodies at the Pravaki family. One in the driveway between a couple of cars, 2 in the garage side room, and 1 upstairs in the bathroom. It turns out to be the Pravaki family and the girlfriend of one of the sons, who was also murdered. who were all there, going there for Thanksgiving dinner. Very quickly found out by a friend of the assailant, who was the youngest son of all of them, Seth Pravaki, that he was very troubled because of his father, telling him to leave the house, and he said that both of his parents said they no longer loved him, and he, out of frustration, because his mom and his brother always took his dad's side in all their fights, went and shot his brother, then waited for his dad, and when his dad came home with his grandfather, he shot them both, and then the girl came over and his mom in the shower. All in the head. Was convicted very quickly, served a long sentence in prison. It was a life sentence, but he was, while in prison, able to overpower a semi-truck with 2 other prisoners, and they used that truck to bust through a couple of gates and started fleeing on foot after that. The 2 other prisoners immediately turned themselves in, but while he was running across the street, he was shot by a correction officer and immediately killed. Happened to be in the head, which a lot of people said was poetic justice.
And the phone call was coming from upstairs inside the house. It's not scary. It's not scary. And the hook was on the car door. It's not scary. Poetic justice. Go on, John. Tell me your third fucking murder story. Jesus Christ.
Hartley James Dobbin was born and raised in Muskegon. He was popular and active in school, and he, like many, worked at the local foundry, the Cannon Muskegon Corporation, to make vacuum parts.
I heard about him. He was not popular in school. I heard from a kid who went to school with him. He was kind of a dick, John. So when you give these fucking broad assertions, I need you to fucking think about what you're saying before you say them. Give me facts and not your opinion of what you read in Wikipedia. Fuck off, he wasn't popular.
So he met his future wife in 1983 at church. It was her second marriage, his first. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke or swear. At work, he was an outgoing person, generally liked, and asked the foreman for extra work whenever he could. In 1985, he had a 1-year-old son, and that's when things started spiraling out of control. He took his wife and son on an 80-mile-an-hour winding country road drive against their will, saying God said his baby was in danger of dying. And then he was taken into a psychiatric unit of the local hospital, and he later claimed his wife was having an affair with the entire band of Kiss. Said their tour bus was parked outside his house, and frequently said she was cheating on him, and that she was using her body language to signal sex stuff to other men.
Bro, I'm 99% sure that I'm Gene Simmons' son, so I kind of believe that. So already, by your facts, bro.
His wife had him committed, and the psychiatrist, he had hung diapers over the baby pictures and covered all the windows and TVs with towels and anointed the baby with olive oil. All these things she used in her claim to try to get him committed, which he was. And the psychiatrist diagnosed him as schizophrenic, who exhibited an overt religious preoccupation and who believed that God was going to come soon and take care of things.
Right. There's points I'm 100% with John. There's points you can yada, yada, yada through without reading everything you've done. Like, you know what you're going to say. You can yada, yada, yada through it.
Okay.
That his psychiatrist believes that the end was going to come and he was going to take care of everything. Holy shit. Are you Ira Glass? Are you Ira Glass, John? With fucking murder mysteries? Jesus Christ.
He got the drugs. He took the drugs. He was doing good. People back at work saw him as calm, collected individual for the next 2 years.
You're still not going good because the doctor prescribed him drugs.
He took the drugs. He did good. They released him. He went back home. He went back to work. Everyone at work said he was doing good. Now continue. See how we put all the pieces together? Maybe
2 years later, early 87, he joined
Kiss.
Now you're yes,
Kiss.
that's right.
He joined Kiss, the tour band, as a
Emmanuel.
roadie. He fucking yeah. Love Gun. It's about his dick. Wow. Fuck yeah. But then when he got fired from that, what happened?
He joined the Emmanuel Fellowship Church, a fundamentalist sect, and the leader, Brood Vaughn, told him to stop taking his meds and look to the Lord.
I mean, okay. The only reason you do that, and I'm speaking as a cult leader, someone who has a compound, who's looking for a new place in Muskegon. If there's any openings, be sure to email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com. It's TWOsidedpod@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe, hit the like button. Just speaking from experience, the only reason you tell people to stop taking the drugs is if they're on painkillers and you take them and confiscate them, and you party with all of the wives inside. As I'm just letting you know, John. But if someone has like psychotropics, like, no, man, like, I don't want you in my compound, bro. Like, you gotta eat them drugs. You gotta eat them drugs. Continue. Bad cult leader is what you're saying. Continue.
Yeah, so in the 8 months of him joining the cult, his friends and family said he became more erratic. And they actually, neighbors called the cops on him because he tried to break up an Easter egg hunt. But children looking for Easter eggs, he said it was horrible and had to be stopped. This is when the wife filed for divorce in Easter time of 87. And in June, she won a court order for him to stay away from the children. There are now 2 of them, and her home. He violated the order 6 days later, but the judge waived the 45-day jail sentence when he promised to get back on his calming meds. Then, midnight, leading into Thanksgiving, again, Thanksgiving, weird. Dobbin spent 4 hours from midnight to 4 a.m. at a co-worker's house discussing religion and reading the Bible. He was convinced, according to the friend, that Judgment Day was coming and his kids were going to die because they were children of sinners, the mother. The same way he believed as many children, he believed that many children had already died in the foundry where he worked in this machine that turned 10,000 pounds of iron into molten lava to purify it.
Okay, so then after the Bible study, he went over and killed his wife and kids.
He did not kill his wife. He took them all in a car ride and said he had to get a Bible on the way to the party, the Thanksgiving party they were all going to. His Bible was at work. And he said, "Hey, kids, you want to have a tour of the work?"
You're a fucking asshole, John. Fucking asshole.
So I'm going to skip back past that part. He comes out. The wife asks, "Where's the kids?" He says, "They're in the foundry." And then he asks the prison guard to go and turn off the furnace.
Prison guard?
No, the guard at the foundry that let them in, even though the place was closed, because he worked there.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you said prison guard. I'm just trying to be legal.
Sorry. The security guard is what I meant.
Right. Yeah. You're taking me down a fork. Yeah. Great, John. Wow. So, all right. I'm going to look for a new place for my cult because you just fucking bumped me out, bro. Like, actively insisted on doing not good stuff. So that's good. Are you done? Are you all done? Hey.
Yeah. So the wife who was pregnant with their 3rd child gave birth.
So
forgave him and took him back, and then married him 4 years later when he was finally given life in prison in 92. and it had to go all the way to the Michigan Supreme Court. And he's still in a low security prison today. He has been an exemplary prisoner through the decades, as he is always on his meds.
You done now?
Yeah, I'm done now. Yeah, I could do one more, but I don't want to. It's a little.
No,
It's kind of the same thing. It's a bit of a bummer.
Hey, you done now?
I'm done.
Perfect. Moving on, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Read the room. Oof.
Let's grab these messages and move on.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Fuck.
I'm going so close to Muskegon in just a week and a half.
Oh, shit.
It's called Grayling, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
It's close to Traverse City and Meal and Houghton Lake. But
I know
anyway,
Houghton Lake is.
I know what Houghton Lake is.
it's on the Osable River, and it's fucking outstanding.
Hell yeah.
That's my childhood home, and I'm going back to visit.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
See? Those things, what I love about that, like I had, my family was in Missouri, like that's where my grandma was, and my dad's side, like to go back there, like just fucking romp around, and you go like, all right, you just walk long enough, you hit a lake, and like get in the truck and find more lakes. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, you're fishing? And as a kid, I'm like, I don't want to fish. I just want to run around the forest. I'm like, all right, be back here in like 4 hours. Like, Jesus Christ, this is awesome. And then once I'm a little older, it's like, yeah, I kind of want to fish now. Kind of want to fish because it's hard to get drunk and run to the forest. It's easy to get drunk and fish.
Michigan City's made the top for shittiest places to live.
Yeah.
You don't. Michigan Adventure Water Park used to be in Muskegon, but it got closed down. Can you guess why?
Yep.
Bacteria and nastiness. That's why. It was disgusting. People were getting sick. But it was real fun while it lasted.
I love the big plume, but I got pink eye. Small price to pay for the smiting of one's pink eye.
And there is a couple of nice art collections. There's the Michigan Theater. There are great things there. I did kind of focus on one thing. There's so many things to say about a town, but it's kind of a little famous right now for it's being looked over. It's being overlooked in general. And these are what the void is causing, is these kind of the dirtiness, the violence, the crime in general.
Yeah. So folks, if you like what you've heard us, you can't believe what you've understood, because I actively don't. Tune in to our Wednesday podcast, Murder Time, with John L. Peacock and my boy Pete puking into his solo cut. Holy shit.
Yeah. There was speaking of which, a woman who used to keep 5 cents. It was weird. She was in the psychiatric hospital. Speaking of which, she used to keep 5 cents down in her private parts, and everybody said they wanted to pump her nickel.
Pumpernickel. I'll have rye. No, I'll have pumpernickel. Bro, get the pumpernickel. Nudge, nudge. I'm telling you, get the pumpernickel.
I'm 99% positive you are describing 99% of Michigan men. Just saying. Fucking creepos.
See?
They're all looking for a damn load of stress. They're all undercover narcissists. Good Lord, this is a shit state.
Like that's the difference in New York and California. Like the more coastal you get, there's no undercover. Like they're no pun intended, they're peacocks about their narcissism. They feather their plumage. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, there's chicks in this bar with less makeup. You have a spray tan.
Harry Palms, and Muskegon is on 131 on the west side of the state. Grayling, Mayo, all that is in the northern part of the state. But yeah, there's that.
Mayo. I prefer Miracle Whip, but
The Mayo Clinic. We talked about that last week. That's right.
I prefer the Sloan Kettering. If I had to do one, and I can't say I will, I'll prefer. All right, John. Program, man.
Oh, yes, as a man from Michigan, I can say that I am, in fact, a certified creepo. And I also pumping nickels. Nickels. I put change in vaginas.
Yeah, I was going to say, pumping nickels. That's back when we had full service stations back in the old five and dime. There's a 25 cents a gallon. You get your full oil check. I pump nickels. Give me 5 nickels for a double diesel. Check the oil. Good on you. Then I like you to throw a nickel in my wife's vagina. And that's how the times were in the 50s, John. I'm pretty sure. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure.
Pump or nickel will get you a vagina.
Yeah. See, it's puns like that are, to me, it feels very vaudevillian. But the dirty ones are not vaudevillian because they don't go dirty. They do stupidity, like on the cusp of. My favorite one, you go to any goddamn brunch buffet or anything, and they have the fruit salad. You say, hold up a melon, honey, do you love me? And you hold up the other one and say, yes, but we cantaloupe. And they're like, oh, boom, fuck you guys. And you start throwing melons.
Motherfuckers were throwing dimes and nickels. I guess just nickels. I don't care what currency it was. In vaginas, I feel robbed.
Well, you didn't get the change you deserve. That's what I say. Be the change you want to see in your vagina. Like when you go for a jog, it needs to sound like a hobo shaking a cup of change at you. What's that? That's my vagina nickels. You don't have a vagina or nickels, but nope. But I do have a man.
Dr. Dre, you're a Michigan gangster too? Get the fuck out of here. Shut the front door.
Doesn't count.
I am properly surprised.
I am too. Doesn't count. He doesn't represent himself. He's this Hawaiian motherfucker now. When I think of Dre, I think of macadamia nuts and North Shore locals only. That's what I think of. Do you like poi? Because poi is tasteless, just like people who move from Michigan to Hawaii, tasteless. I'm sorry, that's funny. We're friends now, so I can make fun of him like that. That's good.
Speaking of tasteless, we're jumping right into our lightning round.
Lightning round. I'm gonna scare the hell out. Fuck it. Lightning round. Gonna make the dolls get down. Lightning round. Kill dolls.
And there they go.
We got them all here. Hey, everybody, sorry. Everyone was asleep until Lightning Guy came to the party. This is all.
Yeah. It's because you unlatched the closet door. That's your own fault, my boy Pete.
Yeah, so help me. You said the words. I had to open Pandora's box. Should I unlatch it, John? Should I unlatch it? Unlatch it. Unlatch it.
We'll whisper. Don't worry. He'll do the same.
They'll be
No,
fine.
he won't.
Shit. The dogs are out.
So this lightning round segment is a new one, but a new favorite of yours and mine. Yeah, that's right. It is movie summaries and reviews.
Oh, no, I like the idea so far, but I think everything you do and everything you stand for in life, I have very suspect feelings about at this point. So I cannot trust you and will not trust you until I get to the end of this journey. So let's talk about this new favorite of ours. What are the rules, John?
The rules are I'm going to give my boy Pete the titles of very real movies throughout American cinema history, and he will give us a summary and a review of said movie.
Oh.
If you would like, during this whole lightning round, you can tune in and say, is my boy Pete actually giving us a real summary, or is he giving a completely fake one? Has he seen the movie? Does he know about the movie? Or is he just lying out his butthole?
And now something that we'd all like to point out is John said butthole. That's one of the 7 dirty words for John O. Peacocks in Arizona. So John, that's 1 point for my boy Pete in bingo. But folks, if you want to be heard, if you want to be seen, if you want to be understood, yes, you can definitely put in messages on stereo. But if we're playing live stereo rounds on YouTube, where you can come in on the chat feature, where John has actually set up the chat feature, and he has this whole ranking program where you don't have the money for the khakis yet because he spent it all in technology for YouTube vote counters. Anyway, so if you want to come in and say what the movie is, if I'm bullshitting or if I'm not, and I can honestly tell you, honestly, I'm not bullshitting. I know I can. John, I'm going to go on a limb right now. Before you even say anything, I'm going to know 99.9% of these movies. 0.1% I'll have the plot wrong or the actors or it's about. But I'll still have a very good opinion, and I think everyone should listen to my opinion.
And honestly, if you've heard one of these lightning rounds before, you know that even the weirdest movies that I did not believe Pete had any idea they ever existed, he actually knew about them. So do not, count this guy out. Are you ready, my boy Pete?
Oh my God. I've been preparing for this moment for the last 20 years of my life. I'm only 23 now. I started watching when I was 3 years old. I'm ready, John. We can edit that out, right? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. 1.
For the last 30 years of my life. Fuck, that doesn't sound good either. We can edit that out, right? John, let's just do the goddamn show.
So this version of this segment of movie summaries and reviews is the long title movies. These are all movies with long titles. Again, these are all real movies that were produced and shown in Hollywood.
So,
first one.
So what I want you to clarify now, because when you say long title movies, because I feel like you're my dad after he's had like 7 strokes. Like you're not using your connective words correctly. You get excited and you're not giving all the spaces in your mind. So what are short title movies, John? What are long title movies? And what are the differences between them? Because is it 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 9 words? Should I start naming? Because I was going to give you 2 examples, but I think you might have brought one of them into it because that's an easy one that everyone's going to get. So I'm not going to say it. So I can now look smart when I say it after. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Castaway.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, right, yeah. Short, right. Gremlins.
Stand By Me.
Right. Home Alone.
Stand By Me. 3 words. Stand By Me, still short?
I would still say that's short. There was no defining factor, but you'll see that these all have a longer.
Right. A semicolon.
One that is not the one that's not in this that is a very famous long title film is Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Right.
Okay. Yeah. But you wouldn't put that in because everyone knows it. They all refer to it as Dr. Strangelove.
Correct.
Like 99% of the people don't. They know it from Dr. Strangelove. They don't know the rest of it because even in reviews, they don't talk about the rest of it. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah. No, okay. I get you. Anyone that has a semicolon, an ellipses, more than a comma, if it has a period and another capital letter. All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
First one from 1993. I killed my lesbian wife, hung her on a meat hook, and now I have a 3-picture deal at Disney.
I can't believe you pulled this one up because I feel like I wonder what your search titles were, because this one I learned from Justin, who did his whole, because he was going to write his movies on zombies and so he went on this deep dive of horror shit that he would just send me random shit. Like, what bro, come on, man. Like, I'm a gentle soul. Look at me. Look at my hands. Officers, look at my hands, look at my hands, look at my hands. All of that. Okay. So he did actively marry a woman who was a lesbian. He found out she was a lesbian, faked her death so that she could leave, but he could get the settlement. He could get the insurance. They had a deal because he wasn't a killer, wasn't a horror, until he got the deal at Disney. And then the shit at Disney that he started seeing was the zombie deal at Disney, and he made a deal with Disney. Disney was a euphemism for the devil. So he had to be in this conglomeration of the underbelly. And it was just so B and so shit. Like, I get it. I like the title. I like it. But come on, man. If you're going to... It's a twist, but it's not good. And you don't have a production value. Like, I don't know if any production value would make that good. Like, not good. I would say to my boy Pete's Town.
So if you want to call in and say that you know he's telling the truth or you think he might be lying, call in now. The next movie title. Ready?
Yep.
The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill But Came Down a Mountain. That classic 1995 film, The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill But Came Down a Mountain.
Yeah, no, that's what's his fucking name? Oliver, no. No, I knew this. This is a World War One, where it was almost like the Florence Nightingale syndrome thing, where he had the whole war thing, and he made inroads with the local people and did a thing, and it was a lot easier going to the place than like. And then he built up his whole society. Fucking what's his name? He wasn't Schindler, no, because he was taken from me. Fuck, I forget the guy's name. Has good cheekbones. Anyway, good. It was good, but it was like a fucking river runs through it. Like, all right, yeah. Legends of the Fall. Who needs you? We all get it.
If you believe my boy Pete is actually talking about the movie as a Legends of the Fall, river runs through it, English parody, call in now. And if you think that he might not quite know what he's talking about, let us know. The next movie, also 1995, that cult classic, Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
Yeah, John. I know this one almost too well, aggressively too well. This was the one I was going to shout out at you before. Because, and anyone who knows, great cast. It has it has Bodhi in it. It has Passenger 57, and it has Rosie from the Ultimatum games. Oh no, the old Ultimatum. Yeah. So the one-man show. Anyway, it's the whole idea. The whole idea is these amazing, famous superstars 95. In my mind, they were still superstars. And they're drag queens. And they take their convertible and they drag queen their way across drag queenie land. And it is brilliant and beautiful and heart-wrenching and hilarious. Little Puerto Rican girl, why are you crying? Thank you very much.
So if you think that My Boy Pete knows this is a very famous people, but past their prime drag queen something across the U.S. movie, then call in now. And if you think that it might be something else and he has no idea what he's talking about, let us know. And finally, last film. Can Hieronymus?
What year?
This 1969. We're going back to the golden age. Can
69.
Hieronymus Merkin?
Yep. Sorry.
Can Hieronymus Merkin ever forget Mercy Humph and find true happiness?
Dude, such an interesting movie. Almost an art house piece. So it was a British piece where Hieronymus Monk was this what do they call it? Where they work in the house, like burr, and stamp. Fucking Bob Cratchit. Oh, and like, yes, sir. And he just stamp shit. And like, what do you do? I just stamp shit. I work for a fuck off guy. I stamp shit. That's a thing in Britain, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been there, but I hear there's a lot of stamping, a lot of fucking pissed off people. Anyway, life is bad. Life is thing. He finds this girl, and she's on vacation. She's at her summer home that her dad purchased in 1905, and she spent the next 11 years of her life there. Formidable years of her life. And that is where they met. And when she finally left, because Industrial Revolution, he lost her, and now can he ever forget Harmonious Jump?
So
I say no, my review, John. Don't try and cut me off.
I didn't realize you were done. I apologize.
No, you said tell me what it's about and then tell me your review. Did I tell you what my thoughts were on it and how I felt about it? Your rules, Sean.
Your tone of voice seems to have the review all throughout.
Oh, he was coming right for me. I was so scared. I loved it. I highly recommend anyone going. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking it up and doing it. Fuck you, John.
So if you believe, can Hieronymus Merkin ever forget Mercy Humph and find true happiness, is about the British man who found the woman on the seaside for the 11 years and then lost her because she was only there part-time, and how he can move forward.
Yeah.
After the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
Call in now.
Part 2 is called the Mailbox, where he puts letters in. He writes to her back in the Industrial Revolution, and they go through time. Oh, Hieronymus Jump. All right, John.
Which is the longest title ever, and actually they discontinued it because it was too long. But
well, you should have seen the crew jackets. It went all the way around. All the way around.
We have a couple of call-ins before we reveal the truth.
All right, now let's do shots while we're doing that, because I've been sitting here and not drinking. It feels very gross. Super gross.
All right, let's do it. We got MFA.
Thank you. Yeah. What? Oh,
She said that early on. That was the I killed my lesbian. Yeah, that was I know she called in from that.
Apparently,
let's reveal it.
Someone...
Oh, hold on, no, we got a couple other messages. Do not reveal before we have the messages. We got to do this right. Yeah. We're professionals. Let's have a shot.
I know.
Holy crap,
John! Jesus Christ, brother!
Crap.
Are you keeping notes?
I am. So that's one against. So she's got nothing. She's got nothing on that. But that's one against for the first movie with MFA. Foxy's got nothing.
I feel like Foxy's or her undecision about two of them. She heard about what they were. She heard there were two. That she just trusts me. I feel like those are two for me. Can we just mark? Because she called in. That's a
fucking call in my book.
I'll give it one.
I repeat my statement from the first. You've seen that one either.
Whoa. Sounds like someone's making a mountain out of a molehill right here. Whoa.
Not only do I think Pete is full of crap, I think the movie titles are these cannot be true. You guys are cracking.
That was the third one, John. That was too long food. Thanks for everything. Here's to you,
He has never seen Hieronymus Birkin. Not once, not ever. Final answer.
Bro.
Yeah.
I did once try on a Merkin that they said, this is a Hieronymus version. It has blonde hair. It's very curly. You'll love it. And I was like, it doesn't match my outfit. I gave it back.
And those, I believe, I'm going to check this last one, but I believe those are all the messages after we started the game. We have a couple before, which we'll hit later, but let's see this one.
Haboob. Haboob.
Thunder, lightning, and then the rain comes.
That's Arizona. That's
Arizona. Only in Arizona. Only in Arizona.
Like yep.
Yeah, buddy.
The boobs, the monsoons.
Oof. So, my boy Pete, we got 4 movies. We got 4 different answers of all of them saying you didn't know any one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, that's just I love it. I know, John. Why don't you go through them?
All right. I killed my lesbian wife, hung her on a meat hook, and now I have a 3-picture deal at Disney from 1993.
Yeah, knew nothing about that one. Knew nothing about that one. Like, not at all.
Yeah. Super B gore, straight to video kind of movie. Had to go under the radar because of the whole Disney thing. Next one. The Englishman who went up a hill but came down a mountain. Also, 95.
Right. I was mistaking that because I was thinking of the Oliver. This one is the Hugh Grant one where he's bumbling as taking down a mountain in England. Oh, but I can't. But I don't. Oh no. But excuse me. I'm just measuring here. That fucker.
Yeah.
What I committed already when I was Ralph Fiennes. I was thinking of Ralph Fiennes in. Fuck, it's gonna kill me. I gotta look up Ralph Fiennes and see what he's done. But I know it's him now. But it was
the English Patient.
Yeah,
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought you were talking. I was like, oh wow, I know that movie. Yeah, that was it.
Actively, watching that movie was I felt like it was a hill when I first started, and I realized when I came out the other side, it was a goddamn mountain. Wow.
So you had seen it, but you committed to the other English movie with English in the title.
Completely.
Right.
Yeah, because
it's all about like the couple of inches between the hill and the mountain. It's such a weird premise.
What I have, it's called English blindness. So anytime I see an Englishman, you're all the same to me. Or if there's a title of English or crumpets, or the Queen's Navy, like any of them, like, I don't see you as people. You're a thing.
Third one, Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Oh, I watched the fuck out of that one, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck out of that.
And you described it.
Wesley Snipes,
Kurt
Patrick
Russell.
Swayze.
Oh, Patrick Swayze, not Kurt Russell. Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, and the one-man show.
Yeah. Every time you hear a fart, a devil gets his horns.
He's the
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, Patrick Swayze, and Wesley Snipes are drag queens, and they drive a convertible across Midwest America, like Southwest America. It's fucking brilliant. He's like, "Oh, little Puerto Rican girl, why are you crying?" Oh no, it's John Leguizamo who says it to Wesley Snipes, like, "Oh, poor little black girl, why are you crying?" Oh my god. So good.
Currently, 2 for the callers in, 1 because you got that one for my boy Pete, and finally, can Hieronymus Merkin ever forget Merci Hump and Find True Happiness, the classic 1969 film?
Right. The whole thing is that was 69, and little did people know that's when the Merkin was invented, and that is the road to true happiness. So all of the other names were just metaphors for different styles and fittings of said Merkins and the road to happiness. Will he find? Won't he find? Who knows? Until this propecia stops alopecia, we'll never know. There we go.
So with the final tally of 3-1, unfortunately, this is the first time in movie summaries and reviews that my boy Pete has actually lost.
Yeah, but fuck you! Don't put buttons into my ears when he loses. Ding, ding, ding. Do better movie titles, John. Don't do long titles, short titles. That's not a thing. I went to film school, John.
What's with all these goddamn fucking vagina nickels around here? Let's get some vagina quarters out here. What the fuck? Get them vagina nickels the fuck out of here.
Bro, I'm 100% with you. I was trying to put Sacagawea dollars in the vagina. I was like, officer, if you're going to insert anything, it needs to be at least a Sacagawea dollar. Or get out your States of the Union quarter calendar and pop those bad boys out. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Oh, look, I have a Betsy Ross.
True. But I warn you against making fun of me. It's like my dyslexic old Uncle Harold, who was also a philosopher, said, "Don't throw glass at stone houses."
How's it going? MFA, Mona Lisa, Harry Palms, I just love that name. Spawn Band, Desert Fox, and Dre the Therapist. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late to the party. I've been here and got a phone call, and I had to leave, and now I'm back, but I'll listen.
John Leguizamo was in that movie. I believe that's the name you're looking for. John Leguizamo.
Exactly.
Yes. And actually, that's going to lead us to our final segment of the evening. That's right, the fun segment. And because I was giving you a little bit of a Debbie Downer there, my boy Pete, I decided to give us both something that both of us know as fun. That's right, we're going to talk about dogs and the history of dogs with mankind.
Cool.
Don't get too excited, boy.
Yeah, no, man. No, yeah. I'm good. Let's talk about dogs. Yeah, Yep.
So the term domestic dog refers to any of the several hundred breeds of dog in the world today. While these animals vary drastically in appearance, every dog, from the Chihuahua to the Great Dane, is a member of the same species, Canis familiaris. This separates domestic dogs from wild canines, such as coyotes, foxes, and wolves. Domestic dogs
Right.
are mostly kept as pets, though many breeds are capable of surviving on their own, whether it's in the forest or on city streets. I know that personally from seeing Athens, Greece, that was overrun by wild domestic dogs. But a third of all households worldwide have a dog, according to a 2016 Consumer Insights study. This makes the domestic dog the most popular pet on the planet.
I also heard that a third of every household has a dad who's an asshole who lives there.
Making them the most popular pricks in
Assholes
the
on the
household.
planet.
Right.
Thanks.
All dogs descend from a species of wolf, but not the gray wolf, the Canis lupus, as many people assume. The DNA evidence suggests that the now extinct wolf ancestor of the modern dog was Eurasian. However, scientists are still working on to understand exactly what species gave rise to the dogs. When dogs broke off from their wild ancestors, is a matter of mystery, but genetics suggests that it occurred between 15,000 and 30,000 years ago.
No, it's like easy like that. This is easy 30,000 years ago. And anytime we talk about stories that are 30,000 years old, I personally think fun. So it's not serious anymore. It's 30,000 years old of fun segments, folks. Because, John, just skip to it, man. Like, we had domesticated dogs because of the werewolf, because that is how werewolves happen. Come on, John.
Sure.
The lupus, go ahead, come on.
So they evolved alongside man. They think that they just ate the scraps, and then man started feeding them to bring them around, and they pulled away from being the wild wolves, developed softer eyes that they say actually helped form a bond between man and human, which the wolves do not have. And
Are you kidding me? Have you ever made love to a wolf, John? I mean, not wolfy style, but full face to face, because they have soft eyes. When the Barry White's playing and you have the raw venison that you've just slaughtered, well, I mean, they did. You're just a guest. You're here as I'm an ambassador to my village that I learned to love. And that's the movie. Where are you guys going? Ding, shit, my elevator pitch. This is going to be Dancing with Wolves Part 2. Fucking with wolves. Nope.
As humans became more sophisticated, so did their dogs. Eventually, there emerged specific breeds of dogs, custom bred to suit the breeder's local needs and circumstances. The Greyhound.
Horseshit. Horseshit. I need you to not gloss over things like that. More sophisticated people became more sophisticated, their breeds became. No, John. The more greedy that humans became, that we consumed everything, we decided to change the genetic structure of dogs to suit our own needs. So don't use the word sophisticated when we're talking about how we have changed genetic coding to make corgis' legs smaller, to make greyhounds run faster, to make wolfhounds attack bears, to make Rhodesian ridgebacks hunt wolves. John, don't tell me that shit. Okay? That's a fucking dog. Don't laugh at me. Fucking wolfhound, I'll get you. I've been Scotland.
So there are over 340 dog breeds known throughout the world, and the American Kennel Club recognizes 199 of them. Some of the iconic dog breeds.
No, but seriously, the 200th, they're like, who the fuck are you? I do not recognize you. He's like, hey, it's me. Hey, I'm Rusty. I was at the party at this guy. They don't even see shit. All right, I gotta fucking let him sniff my butt again. Hey, Rusty. I recognize you now. How come you don't let me sniff your butt earlier? Thank you, John. That was worth it.
So some iconic dog breeds, especially known to us here in the U.S., the Dalmatians, right? We associate immediately with firefighters or with spotted suits
Inbreeding.
on fashionable women for the 101 of them.
I was going to say the inbreeding because what happened after Walt Disney came and bastardized the race, and they were inbred, and now the majority of them for a long time through the 80s and 90s had neurological problems because they were inbred. But go on, John.
Corgis and the Queen.
Oh, another one rides the bus, John. That's all I can say about this breeding of dog, because we took a beautiful dog and we're like, how can we make his legs smaller? I don't want him to run. I'd like him to sit and be royal. Can we cut them off? No? Well, how about we breed them with a rat? Don't talk to me about it. Go to the lab. Bring them back when they're small, legged, large-bodied, with crowns. Wait.
The Pekingese and the ancient emperors.
Now, the Pekingese they're kind of asshole dogs. They're good. All dogs are good, but there's naturally little.
They're known as the lion dog in China. The folklore says they're a cross between lions and monkeys. But in imperial China, harming or stealing a Pekingese was a serious crime punishable by death.
Yeah, but you could fuck with monkeys all day long. So I was like, all right, that seems like discrimination. So if monkey's a dad, then why don't we protect monkey dad and baby Pekingese? I'm just asking questions. And that's why they threw me out of the dynasty, John.
The German Shepherds and the Germans.
Yeah, they were very efficient when they had these dogs. We do not like to be associated with Germans. We are mainly here for pooping, peeing, and sniffing butts. Yeah, it's beautiful dog park. Yeah. How do they know we're German? By our accents. Well, and our Lederhosen. Yeah, our Lederhosen.
Greyhounds as race dogs.
I don't believe in race. I just believe in walking.
Dobermans and Pits as guard dogs.
But see, good guard dogs are like, that can be anything. John, if you're going this route, like, did you realize during World War II, they had, when we had those war bonds and all that shit and loose lips and ships, one of the things they did, they put a thing out to the American people and said, we need dogs for the war effort. And people would just be sending dogs in. Literally just sending dogs. And then they're like, all right, okay. It has to be a dog that's like, here's a poodle. Here's a but they were doing some horrible shit. Like, here's dogs that have to go and like go down in a mine and carry ordnance, or go down and like go sniff out bombs, or go like do horrible shit. But there was a whole, bro, Ira Glass, NPR, This American Life. There's a whole hour and a half episode on war dogs and what they did, how they did it. So, but that was one of the things. German Shepherds, Rottweilers, no pit bulls. There weren't pit bulls really around back then for us. They were brought in. They're Belgian, I believe.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, so the Rotts, Dobermans, the German Shepherds, and they're like, all right, and we can take no more fucking corgis. We're not going down gopher holes. And wiener dogs.
But they can fit in small places.
All right, you can put two teacup poodles in each of your ears, and those will be quietly giving you instructions. No one will see them.
The Goldens being, retrievers. It's in their name. Chihuahuas and them carrying Taco Bell, right? Huskies and sled racing. Saint Bernards. No, that what we know them for, right? Saint Bernards and the whiskey in their barrel, right?
No, that are we just talking misnomers now? Because if we were talking like what they're known for, I would have started making jokes way earlier before. St. Bernard's whiskey? No, motherfucker, they didn't. No, there wasn't. No, they don't. All misnomer. Come on, John.
And finally, the poodle mixes being all the craze right now. They actually have a numbered scale to their mixings with other dogs.
Right. I prefer something like flat meat or a good rump roast. It's like a grade 2 or 3 on the Kobe scale. It's a Kobe doodle. It's a Labradont. It's a Shits Now. Come on, John. Keep going.
So, dogs are one of the biggest enigmas of domestication because despite decades of study, scientists still haven't figured out when or where they arose, much less how or why it happened. A 2016 study concluded that dogs may have been domesticated twice, once in Asia and once in Europe, many, many years apart, or the Near East. But critics have said that there wasn't enough evidence to be sure. So a few years later, researchers reported signs of dogs in Americas as early as 10,000 years ago. Yet those canines appear to have vanished without a genetic trace. Other studies have found evidence of ancient dogs in Siberia and elsewhere, but scientists don't know how they got there and how they're related.
I have a buddy in Siberia who can get you a dog right now. If you want a dog, like within 24 hours, my Siberian buddy, get you a dog. No problem, John. Like right now, just say the word and like it'll be there in a trace. And you can trace it. Don't put a full packing label and you'll be able to track the ship.
A dog DNA study revealed some surprises. As early as 11,000 years ago, there were already 5 distinct dog lineages, and they gave rise to canines in the Near East.
7,000 years ago.
11,000.
11,000 years ago, there was 7 species.
5, yeah.
5. Okay, 11,000, there was 5. Because 11,000 years ago, we had the DNA testing to know there were 5 different that was then written down and historically recorded, John. Are you an idiot? Hey.
And the connection between humans and dogs runs deep. The domestication dates back to 33,000 years ago, and unambiguously domesticated dogs are common in the archaeological record beginning 15,000 years ago. So we know for sure that was happening.
For sure. Now we're 15,000, 17,000, there's 11,000, there's 7,000, 5, and 5. Right, John, just keep going. Like literally.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not fun. You're just yelling about dogs and the different time zones to me. Just shut the fuck up.
All right. Finishing up the history of that means that this pairing makes for a striking conclusion that no other species has been so thoroughly integrated into human society. Not horses, no other species.
Definitely not the fucking peacocks, because they don't get what's fucking going down in society.
In Germany, owners can take their dogs with them almost everywhere, including most stores, inside many restaurants, as well as on the subway and even many workplaces. The Germans have adopted strict regulations regarding care and training of Das Hund, or Die Hund.
That's great, John. That is literally here too. What's so special about that? I can go to restaurants, to movies, to theaters, to beaches, to the store with dogs. Okay, great. What is it about Germans, you fascists?
Well, in Germany's constitution, they have provisions for animal rights and protections that include a no-kill policy in Germany. So the owners can expect to pay a dog tax, which is about $140 a year for a dog. And in some German states, legislation requires dog owners to pass a written or practical test, much like applying for a driver's license. Something we've talked about, why, to be competent enough to actually be able to take care of this beautiful being. Why wouldn't you need to pass a test, right? Germany has that. That's what's special about Germany.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Keep reading, John. We gotta go. I can't do the green room. It's after 10 o'clock already, John. Keep reading.
Okay.
No more pregnant pauses. Keep going.
Sure. England has a lot of policies very similar to Germany. In Sweden, if you have a dog, you need to walk it at least 6 hours every day. Indoor dogs must have a view from the window that provides sunlight. Dogs can travel with their own owners on public transportation and are often allowed in workspaces. Just as in England and Germany, the Swedes also place high priority on training their dogs and giving them a job to do so. Becoming a member of a dog training club or association is encouraged as participation in dog sports and competitions.
I adore you. I adore you. I adore you. I adore you. If you
Lastly,
rattled off the first part and then stopped with the literal. It is encouraged to join a dog club because in Sweden people like dog club. In Germany, it's this. In Sweden, you got to have a window. In this, those are great joke lines. Like, but also, if you like dog clubs and if you live here, they say it's very encouraged to. You should probably maybe take your dog to a dog thing. Fuck you in Scotland, or Ireland or wherever. It's 6 hours a day walking. Fuck you, John. That's a lie. Keep going. I'm done. Don't argue. Go.
And finally, indigenous communities in Australia have always held a special place for dogs, dating back to the arrival of the dingo approximately 5,000 years ago. In Aboriginal culture, dreaming stories convey cultural values, tradition, and knowledge, and sacred locations known as dog dreaming sites can be found across the Australian continent. In addition to providing physical protection, it is believed that dogs can provide spiritual protection against evil spirits, particularly at night. This importance, accorded to dogs, appeared to extend across Australia when Australian dog food manufacturer Scratch conducted, quote, the Great Australian Dog Survey in May of 2020, which 20,000 Australians participated. The results show that 2/3 of respondents reported spending more than 6 hours a day with their dogs. Half of those surveyed said that they are willing to take pay cuts to spend more time with their dogs.
Yeah, long story short, hey, Australians, there was a whole survey. They said at least they spend 6 hours a day, and they said they would take a pay cut to spend more. Wow, said it in 5 seconds. It was the most inspiring time. It was the best of Australians. It was the worst of Australians. We had a whole dingo parade where we sacrificed babies once a month because it was for the night. Also, there's a dog food company called Scratch. Anyway, Scratch did a whole thing. God damn it, John. You're a great writer. You're a great writer. Great writer. Love your writing. Great writer. Not sure about your delivery, but your writing is great.
So that's a little bit about dogs.
Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ.
Our sources for this episode of Two-Sided have been, for the first segment, Michigan Crime Stories podcast, Michigan and Other Mayhem podcast, Muskegon History and Beyond, Michigan Murders and Music, and Wikipedia, Detroit Free Press, and bestplaces.net. The second segment, American Kennel Club, National Geographic, the BBC, Science.org, Discovery Magazine, thesmartcanine.com, Brohinger, Ingelhelm.com, and finally The Wonderful World of Dogs.
I feel like I'm having a stroke. I feel like that you have made me stroke out tonight, John. You glossed over so much. You hit all the points. I just prayed to Jesus and asked you verbally not to. I stroked out and you glossed over Pete's Raisins, John. Well, you fucking glossed over it. You're going to get it. Oh my God. Oh my God. What I would like to take back is my willingness. Do you want to talk?
I was just going to ask you, is there anything in this episode that you might want to take a second glance at, a second opinion, a second look? Here's Pete's Retraction Corner.
I fucking hate you so much when you do this. It's like we're literally in the car driving to the beach and you pull over like, hey, does anyone want to go on a trip today? You guys feel like going somewhere fun? Who wants to go maybe to the mountains? No. How about to the beach? Hey, motherfucker, we're already going. Your words goddamn mean nothing at this point, John. Pete's raging because now I'm having to read it. It's not Pete's Retractions Corner, what I'm seeing. It's Pete's raging. And by God, you rubbed my lamp. You brought me here tonight, you stupid goddamn ginger. Oh, no, baby. Oh, no. I didn't know you were in a murder like that. That frightens me. That frightens me on a lot of levels because you're creepy as fuck. He was so nice. He was so sad. Yeah, he did some time in a fucking war and he came back and all his friends at the fucking plant said he was cool. Until he fucking wasn't. Don't tell me about you living in a weird ass fucking small town, being a fucking weird fucking guy, and then insist on ear raping me. You physically put information into my goddamn ear I did not want there, John. That is assault. Auditory assault, and I did not want it, John. If we're going to change our podcast name to Murder and Mystery Hour with John L. Peacock and my boy Pete, so help me, I'm going to have to get a better drug addiction instead of this happiness that I found that I live on day to day, every goddamn day. So what do I retract, John? What do I take back? I take back nothing. Except for this nickel. This nickel here, this nickel is mine. This was in my wife's vagina. It's my wife's vagina. It's my time down here. It's mine. It's their time. It's their time up there. It's all over the second you start chucking bigger change into vaginas. See, didn't get the pull back. Anyway, John. I have no fear of soul.
We got a couple of messages and then let's get out of here and do a couple minutes in the green room. Yeah.
Yeah, I will start the green room with you, but I cannot do it for long. It's after 10 o'clock. I get up. I'm fucking dog sitting these goddamn hellhounds.
They wake me up before 5. You've got me drunk.
Mona Lisa's got me.
What it is about that accent, that hoity-toity accent, but it sends me into a giggle fest every time I do it. I love it, Pete.
I learned that one from History of the World. Oh no, Maurice, these are my raisins. You ate yours already.
See, let the record state, it was my boy Pete that was like, I can't do the green room. So, as a result, nobody gets to know.
What happened to Avril Lavigne?
Nobody. I mean, who killed her? I don't know. Do you? Actually, I do know. And you don't. So.
Neener.
Well, I would be worried if I didn't have her tied up in my basement right now. Oh, shit. That's Jewel. God damn it. Never mind. Keep going.
Pete, I'm just curious. How did John get you drunk? Isn't he like far away from you?
It's the same thing, but you're okay. So you're. Oh my God! Look at. Okay. All right, cool. So you're a good partner. You're a good person. You're a good everything. John and I have both been inundated with any significant other, any person who's not one of the specific group of our brothers. Anytime that we're together, like you, from my side, it's like he's a fucking horrible influence on you. And John gets it, like he is awful. Look what you do when he's around. Like, yeah, but maybe we're both kind of those people and you guys ruin us and make us not as fun, cool, happy, good looking, strong, and personable. I can go on, but the day is short. And it turns out, no. Learned in therapy, no. Turns out John's a bad influence. And marriage was a sham. Anyway, I digress.
I was called the devil back in our college back in the day.
No, you idiot! You were called the devil because you love to play the devil and wear a long leather trench coat in the middle of fucking Arizona, and love the idea you would call yourself the devil. So don't say
no. I was playing the devil. My first role was the devil, and that was Berdur's.
Right, exactly. But you just said, well, I was called the devil. No. You were playing the devil and you told people, you introduced yourself as the devil. And that's why this guy.
The devil. Do you like my scarf?
He wears a leather jacket, trench coat on stage, a scarf and a beret after, John Lennon glasses in the daytime. But he has weed, so maybe we should invite him over. I don't know.
Thanks, Amber. All right, let's get out of here. Let's do a shot. Thank all these people for listening to us because, oh man, God bless you. Woo.
Yeah, seriously. I'm going to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode. If you put it on Spotify, like, hey folks, if this is your first time listening, don't listen to this episode. If this is your first time listening, go back. Start maybe a month and a half ago. Maybe 3 months when life was...
We're like a buoy. Go no further. Go no further.
No, it's definitely not a buoy because we want them to continue. We want them just to avoid this goddamn island in the stream. That is what we are. Come away with me from islands in the stream. Sun. Stop dancing with your arms up. It makes me feel weird. Don't use your hands so much. It's just kind of weird. Okay.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show live on stereo every Tuesday. Same start time as tonight. So if you'd like to join us or you want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And remember to join our stereo green room right now. Let's go 25 after the hour. That's about 5 minutes after we'll finish. Let's do a shot right now, my boy Pete.
But also
thank these people for listening.
And also send an email with topic suggestions for Thursdays, because right now, apparently it's showing we're not good at things. Cheers.
So those on stereo, join us in our green room for the after show wind down.
Next week,
a wrap for tonight.
Join us on Thursdays where dogs and bees smell fear. Also, the human head weighs 7 pounds. I've been my boy Pete, and this has been Two-Sided, where you can tune in all the time. I'm my boy Pete in Southern California. This has been John L. Peacock. John, I hope you do great in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm taking your goddamn exit intro. I hope you like it. Folks, we'll see you next Thursday or in the green room. Bye-bye now.
Love you, Pete.
See you next Thursday. We're in the green room. Bye-bye now.
Love you, Pete.
You there? Oh, I'm going pee. You got 5 minutes.
Hey, buddy, you're still live.